Okay, good morning, everybody. I don't know if the audio is working in this thing or not. I'm hoping it is. Uh, we are on our way to the Wednesday session of the suitcase murder, Florida versus Sarah Boone. And where am I? So right now I'm heading for Orlando. Now the trial isn't supposed to start until 9:30, and what they're doing today is going to be motion hearings. And while I'm getting set up in traffic here, I'm just gonna be quiet and let this thing do a road trip. And if I see somebody pop in here, I'll do commentary, because I'm just sipping a Pepsi. The McDonald's wasn't quite ready this morning. I'm leaving earlier than usual, and so I didn't grab breakfast yet. I can do that down on the way down. Now, yesterday, the entire day was jury selection. I didn't get in there early because I wasn't aware that the trial was starting so darn early. Anyway, but they managed to get the jury panel to 54. Now today's going to be an interesting one, because in the morning they're going to do the housekeeping, where they file different motions, make different arguments about what they want to have included or eliminated from the trial in chief. The defense seems to be concerned about body cam footage and medical issues. That from the trial, and not sure exactly what they specifically want at this point. That's what's going to be argued today, because there's a lot of motions the state says has to be dealt with, and they want to do it prior to going into the trial, so that they don't have the jurors having to constantly wait while they go to the sidebar or go outside the courtroom while the lawyers deal with these various motions and issues. So that's where we're at today. But right now I am making the 40-minute trip to Orlando. And somebody popped in. Good morning. As you can see, I am on the road on my way down to Orlando for the trial. So sit back and enjoy the ride, I guess is what one would say. I was just kind of putting some notes on here for when this thing gets posted to YouTube, which it generally does. Oh, I my audience count just doubled. Now, this morning's trip might be a little bit busier. This time of day, everybody's going to work, and so on and so forth. So this particular road has a tendency to get more congested, which we'll see as we progress. And again, this is the 429 that goes around the metro area. Say he's having to go down the middle of town because it's all stop and go traffic. And if I were to take what we call the South Orange Blossom Trail, it would take me a hair longer because of all the red lights. And on my various trips down to Orlando, where I do my morning briefing, I would probably do that. Oh, good morning, Laurie. Boy, you are up early this morning. My. And yeah, you get to see the traffic this morning. Hopefully everything is going here. Now, in case you're following this particular trial, Court TV has a pool unit down there, and so they're streaming it. So if you go to courttv.com, you'll be able to watch the trial. I'll be live tweeting again, although this is going to be a routine day. All they're doing is they're filing motions and all that. Now, in the afternoon, they're going to switch to a larger courtroom because they're bringing all 54 of the jury pool into court to do the jury instructions. And from that, we should get it whittled down to the jury panel that's going to hear the case and make the decision at the end. I believe it's 6 jurors, and I'm not sure of the alternate number, but it's I think it's going to be 4 alternates, I'm not sure. But we'll get that all figured out tomorrow, or today, I mean. And so I'm not sure if we're going to start opening arguments tomorrow or Friday. But this trial is progressing at a pretty good pace, so you know, we'll have to see what happens in the next 2.5 weeks, because that's how long the judge says this might go to in the worst case scenario. He's in the selection process. He warned the jurors that this could go as long as 2.5 weeks out to around November 1st. And this knocked a lot of jurors out of the pool because they said, no, we can't do 2.5 weeks for various reasons. People weren't getting paid for jury duty. Self-employed people obviously were going to lose money during this process. People had medical appointments, and people also were going on trips, and this was disrupt their travel plans. And because of that, the judge said, okay, we've got 54 people in the pool currently, and I don't think they're going to be doing any more panels, so I think that out of this 54, they're going to get who they need to sit on the jury. And we have lots of traffic this morning. Everybody going to work. This is one of the reasons I leave this early, is in order to get down there and get situated. traffic slows down, as you can see, to a crawl. And I'm roughly 5 miles from the turnpike, which is my next destination, and it's because we got people that work in the Ocoee Winter Garden area, and we got people that are going north towards Ocala, and then south towards Orlando, and even farther south. So, as in any large city, you have this big traffic buildup. Now, there is news out of the Delphi trial. They have seated the jury, and there is varying rumors considering new evidence that was revealed by the defense in what they call a mini opening. What they do is, this process varies from court jurisdictions. They do something similar to this in Orlando, and that is that the defense gives a little briefing of what they are going to present as a defense, and they do this so that the people being selected understand that they are being selected for this particular case and what the ramifications are, what the penalties are, and so on and so forth. And it was mentioned that a hair found at the scene where the two children were murdered does not match the children and doesn't match Richard Allen. Now, this could mean any number of 100 things. It could mean that someone was in the area at some point. This is a frequently visited area. Everybody walks that bridge and the pathway beyond the abandoned railroad. So that hair could be anybody. There's a man that owns the property. It could be his hair. I mean, and the trial hasn't even started yet. And we got this stuff coming out. And this has started the rumor mills going, especially from the PPTF, the Pedophile Protection Task Force, who is taking Richard Allen's side in this trial. And the Pedophile Protection Task Force posted a link to someone that has stated that the hair found at the scene does not match Richard Allen, or does not match the children. And so there's that. So the Delphi trial looks like it's going to be a zinger this week and next week and the week after that, because the Delphi trial, from what I understand, is expected to go at least 3 weeks. It's going to be the longer of these two trials. So we got that. And getting back to Sarah Brooke, now, one of the things that was argued in court, or requested actually, was that Sarah be allowed the time to take a shower, and all that, because when the trial, or when court is adjourned for the day, usually at 5 o'clock, between 4 and 5 o'clock, they, by the time she gets transported back to the Orange County Jail, it's late, she misses the normal meal periods, and it also makes it difficult for her to shower and wind down and all that stuff. And they've also requested, if it's possible, for her to have snacks between breaks here at the courthouse, because apparently she suffers from sugar level problems. don't know if she's a diabetic or, if she's hypoglycemic or hypoglycemic or whatever the problem would be, to where she'd have to maintain her blood sugar levels a little bit different than people that don't have the problem. So supposedly the judge is going to try and talk to the sheriff's department of corrections to see if she can be accommodated. And so that was that. And there was, at one point in the proceedings of jury selection, the jurors broke out in laughter, and I couldn't understand why, and it came to my attention watching local coverage after the trial that apparently he was holding up a football mug of UCF, I believe, and said something to the jury, and everybody broke out in laughter. So he kind of relaxed everybody by doing that, and so that was picked up on the local news. But now, I just am making my way down here. I'm currently on the Florida Turnpike. Not going to be on here for long, because I'm going to shoot right up on what we call the East-West Expressway, and I take that into town. And we're going to have a nice sunrise this morning. Majority of people are heading off to work. So this is where it usually starts to build up. Is once I make this turn, this is where the bulk of the traffic will be from here on out. Because people start getting into the feeders, coming out the entrances to the various roads. Kirkman Road will be a big influx of people. Hiawassee, Pine Hills Road, John Young Parkway, and the trail. And so we got all that to contend with. But so far, traffic isn't too bad. We're moving along at a good pace here. No major accidents or issues that would block the road. Now, for some reason, a lot of you are going to see this in what they call mobile mode. I'm using the software I use for mobile live streaming. Puts it in portrait mode rather than landscape, which I would normally use. And from what I've seen from previewing on YouTube, it's not too bad. And it benefits you folks that tune in with cell phones, smartphones, and so on. So it's more what you get used to on some of the other social media. Alright, well, you have a good night, and thanks for tuning in. This trip does not take very long. I'll be down at the courthouse for roughly 15-20 minutes. I wanted to get down there by 7:30, so I'm going to be hitting it pretty close. And I will be live streaming it. Live Xing this morning. It used to be called live tweeting until Elon Musk screwed that up, so now it's going to be live something else. everybody still considers it tweeting, so I guess I'm not being incorrect in that. And thanks for the thumbs up. That's always appreciated. So far, I haven't gotten on the bad side of YouTube, and so I'm going to take this day by day, and maybe I'll bite the bullet, at least on this case, as I look to see if it's worth my while to expand the channel. So we shall see, but we shall see. I'll be doing these kind of pre-trips going down to Orlando so that people can see what traffic is like down here, which is basically the same as any large city, like I said before. Sometimes I will go down the Orange Blossom Trail all the way so you can see what the city route is. Like, instead of taking the turnpike, we go down to the city of Apopka, Lockhart, and so on. The Orange Blossom Trail, U.S. Highway 441, used to be like one of the main ways to get to Orlando. But then they built the turnpike, and then 429, which has made the trip a lot faster and more convenient because you're not stopping at every red light in town here in order to get to where you're going. It helps fuel mileage, it helps, efficiency, and it does, in a lot of cases, it does save time. Generally, it shaves 15 minutes off the trip, and it can shave more time off the trip. But you pay because it's a toll road. Now, because of Milton, DeSantis ordered the tolls to be suspended in this area. Orange County, parts of Osceola County, and then going north. I'm not sure how it is up there, whether Marion County is suspended or not. But in this general area, there have been no tolls. And so I'm saving a little money there. And we have a second person driving in. Hello, second person. We are almost to I-4. Got 2.5 miles. And we're going to cross over I-4. Now, before they redid the intersection of this highway and I-4, you had a couple choices to get to the courthouse. You would either go up I-4 to Anderson Street or Church Street to work your way over to the courthouse, or you would take the east-west a mile farther west and get off there and come in that way. But what they did is they built a new exit. The term is a flyover, exit because it's a kind of a bridge-like exit that goes over the top of your main highways and so forth, and then comes down to the exit. And that's the one that we're taking today. Because I-4 is usually a mess. You know, and even for the mile that you would go on I-4, 2 miles, it's just not worth the aggravation. Now, and yesterday was the first time I've ever taken that exit. And it's quite interesting. And now today, I'm going to take it and I'm going to see how traffic builds up, because I have to basically take part of Orange Avenue up into downtown, and then it splits because from a certain point, Orange Avenue goes from a two-way street to a one-way street going south, and we're going to be going north, so we have to switch over. And then I go north until I get to the entrance to the courthouse parking garage. And so, there's that. And starting to see the high-rise buildings here in downtown Orlando. Got building up here. State Highway. So far, this exit looks pretty good. Now we got another thumbs up. Well, thank you. Appreciate the thumbs up. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and if you like what I'm doing, give me a thumbs up. It helps the algorithm. So, you know, it's always nice to have good press, as they say. Now, at one time, that particular house used to be what they called the mayor's bench. And that would be a residence for the mayor of Orlando to stay in. And I think they've changed that now. That's a private residence. Years and years ago, that's what it was. So it's on the Historic Places Registry and all that good stuff. Okay, I am headed to the Sarah Boone trial. This is being referred to as the suitcase murder trial because the person was her boyfriend somehow wound up in a suitcase. There was some kind of a game or something they were playing, and he started to suffocate, and he told her to let him out because he just was suffocating, and she wouldn't let him out. And he subsequently died of suffocation. Now, this really isn't so much a murder trial as it is a manslaughter trial. She's being charged with voluntary manslaughter. which is, loosely you could say it is unpremeditated murder, because she engaged in actions that caused the death of a human being. And so that's what's happening today. Now, so far, it looks like we're going to have some motions being dealt with in court in the morning half, and then in the afternoon, the judge is going to instruct the jury and take care of matters related to the jury issues, and then possibly opening arguments will be tomorrow, Thursday, October 17th, that this thing goes forward. Oh, we got travel buses. Interesting. So, what'll happen is that the defense and prosecution will start their opening arguments, outlining what they plan on doing with with their defense, the evidence that each side is going to present, and so forth. One thing they did in the openings, or during the process of selecting the jurors, was it came out that there are a lot of witnesses, the majority of which are law enforcement officers and experts. I believe her brother is going to be testifying, and so forth. And yes, I understand that she videotaped him in the suitcase, which is why you're able to hear him begging for his life. Big dog. So this is going to be, in the coming days, I'm going to start the process of getting FOIA information and study up on more of the details of the case. I had intended to go on air last night, but things got complicated. I had a couple things I had to deal with last night, so I didn't get on here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait until my usual live stream times on Friday to kind of review what happens during the week at night. And I'll do these mini reviews during the day, because it's just easier that way. Now, courttv.com and another individual that I'm going to see today are intending to cover this case with the streaming from the court directly, the courtroom directly. So, if you want to watch this thing in real time, there's courttv.com, and then livetv.com will be trial TV, is also participating in this, and so they're a good source of information as well. And I gotta doing the old parking garage thing, so I gotta get a ticket here.
Please press the blue button for ticket to enter. Please press the blue button for ticket to enter. Please press the blue button for ticket to enter. Please press the blue button for ticket to enter.
iRobot. Okay. Now I go to my destination up here on the now this is an 8-story parking garage, And generally, I go up to the top, even if there was parking available on the lower levels, because if I do a live shot, I have the building in the background, and it's just it's just composition. So that's what we're doing now. And I think it also guarantees me a parking spot next to the elevator, because as you can see, what happens is that when people come here, they start going from the elevator back. Everybody wants to get close to the elevator, which is over here on the right, to save a long walk and everything, and then it goes there. And if I wanted to on these lower levels, I probably could get a spot next to the elevator. I've got a special tag which allows me to park in restricted parking areas, and I could get to the elevator instantly. But as a creature of habit, I've just decided that I'm gonna go to the top level and park next to the elevator up there. So that's what we're doing. This way I'm not competing with 54 people plus that are sitting on the jury, because they get free parking. And this is not the only trial going on. There's, we have civil trials that go on, and other less important criminal trials, so there's a lot of jurors. So you figure you've got at least a couple hundred jurors either sitting in or being selected, so it can get quite busy. So far, though, if you come in at this time of the morning, you get a good parking space. But you also you're paying a little bit more dollar-wise. Now the parking here is pretty reasonable. You can park the entire day for $15. They don't charge more than $15. And it's on a per hour basis, so that if you have business in court, you go in, spend a couple hours, come out, and it's not going to be that bad. So, police. We got all the popo. And now you go up one more level, we're at the top of the world. Used to be a restaurant at Walt Disney World called the Top of the World. I don't know if it's still there or not. As you can see, it's not very crowded. And what I usually do is I park over here close to the elevator, and this way, if I want to make a shot in the background, that's the courthouse there, so I can do that. So. Okay. All right. 4 people at this time of the morning is pretty cool. Seriously, this is my numbers are usually for my night is 4 people. And let's see. Okay, to answer your question now, I can read that I'm stopped. No, they do not allow recording in the courtroom. No photographs, no audio or video recording. This is pretty standard. What there is a pool camera, which is going to be court TV, is doing the pool feed from the courthouse. And so, ooh. Morning. Yeah, I'm going to be parking here for the day.
All right, can you straighten up a little bit, though?
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
And now that I got you're just asking me to straighten up a little. I parked crooked so you guys could look at the building. But no, they, what's going on with this? They don't allow for that because they don't want a courtroom with all these cameras and stuff. And as far as still photography, the Orlando Sentinel, our local paper, provides photographs to everyone that's part of the media. You go to Orlando and say, okay, we want pictures and so on, and then you get the pictures from the Sentinel, and you don't have to worry about copyright issues because you know, that's just an agreement that the court makes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close down now, and I Mert Witness one on Twitter for if anybody's new here, and I will be live tweeting from the courtroom, and there's going to be other people there live tweeting as well. So there's going to be plenty of information coming out today. So thank you for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and I will talk to everybody later, probably during the break. And thank you, folks. Bye-bye.